have to have goals. You know, I set goals for myself, and you know, and I'm very a structured guy, very structured, and I think having that structure was very helpful. And you know, I tell you, one of the main things that helped me get where I'm going was after a long time of shoeing horses. I went to an AFA convention back in 1981, and I saw other people, and I met other farriers, and it just opened my eyes. There's a whole new world out there there was to me, and you know, I was like a sponge, just soaking up all that. And I think that was the one thing I think that really jump started my career. Was the first time that I ever went to a Farrier convention, and it's been great since then. It's just a wonderful career. The people that I met is just, you know, it's hard to explain really. What a wonderful business. It's different. It's different from anything else. I have friends that work in the corporate world. They hate it. They hate going to work. I love going to work. I love my job. So yeah, that would be this one single thing I think that's helped my career. There's been lots of milestones along the way. You know, I've had opportunities to work with other top-notch farriers in the world, internationally and nationally. I've worked on some nice horses. I've been to the World Games. All of those things, they're all milestones in my career, and you know, some are more important than others. But I think Tom said it's the people and the horses that mean the most. That really it defines my career.
Well, Bud Beeston started me out. I went to his school, and he tried to cull me out early because he knew how tough it was, and why waste my time or money or effort going on to be a shoer. So he really tested my mettle, but he did it on purpose because he knew the world was not waiting for me. And he really did it with a lot of love, which I later came to understand. Not because he was mean or hostile, but he wanted me to succeed, and so he pushed me as far as he thought he could push me. And then, of course, without question, I stumbled around for almost 8 years. I mean, really struggling, going home and crying myself to sleep at night, wondering what was I doing, I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody would take me. I'd go hang out with horseshoers and they'd shoo me away. And it was tough. I had never felt that kind of rejection and discrimination. I was a nice girl from a nice big family in Long Island. I mean, I'd never experienced that kind of sort of unwarranted rejection. I hadn't done anything wrong, you know. I hadn't robbed a bank or shot somebody, you know. And then, of course, absolutely, the pivotal moment was meeting Harry Patton. Because it came exactly at the moment when I was trying to get into the big time. I had gone from, you know, ranch work and backyards in western Colorado to Santa Anita. I said, if I'm going to do this, just let's go all the way and go right to the top. I wasn't going to go to California and do backyards. Nothing wrong with them, but I wanted to go to the top. And for me, that was racehorses. Also, it was dovetailing at the same time that the hunter jumpers that I started to do in California were switching from retired racehorses to these enormous Hanoverians and Procaners and Westphalians, and they would just take their feet and they would just slam me up against the side of the shoeing stall, or I would just grip down. So I'm out of here. These horses are too big for me. I just can't handle them. So it pushed me to the racetrack, and Harry trained me, and I took the journeyman's test, you know, 6 hours, 5 hours in the fire, 1 hour on the horse. And it was there that I really went into the big time. It was, you know, $1 million races, $1 million horses, top jockeys. You've got to have good feet under those horses because it's betting, it's racing, it's a lot of lives are at stake. And I was terrified. I was literally terrified. But, you know, you fake it till you make it. So that was really my career. was learning how to shoe racehorses, and nobody wanted to hire me, so I had to be better than anybody else. And so I learned how to fix hitting horses. A lot of guys just didn't take the time to figure that out. Harry taught me that. He gave me the eyes to figure out how to fix a hitting horse, and he helped me, not by telling me what to do, but by asking me, what are you going to do for this horse? So he was a great trainer, and I learned from, Jim Canori and Jay Sharp, and I mean, there were lots, Danny Bryan, Smitty, they were wonderful, wonderful people. I went back east, hung around with Ray Amato. John Blombach was a vet. I learned how to patch quarters. I went everywhere I could, but I think it was that moment in 1977 when I took my exam and I passed it, and Harry was my mentor. I think that was my turning point, and then it was just straight uphill from then on. I just went, whew, and did great horses.
I mean, I think I had discipline and I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but it was all these people. And I just don't think that, in talking to friends that are in other fields, I don't think they see that. They don't experience that, at least like I have. But it's, all the clinics, and especially the early AFA, I couldn't believe that people would be so helpful. And even in our area, if you showed up, drove into a horse show, the other horseshoers would have you unload and work with them. And not all of them, but really the majority of them. Just without them, things just wouldn't have happened. And it was the same thing when I started teaching. I mean, I would just called everybody listed in the AFA's directory of schools, and the majority of them would send stuff and tell me how they did.